Hey guys, Lizardlea here for day 5 of Chinese Phoenix. Oh, look at all of that. It looks so funny with that just random yellow spot there. That's the middle of the second flower. So I'm gonna finish off the pink today and start the variations in the metallic. I highly doubt I'll finish them, but you never know, you never know. So I'm still here with my handy dandy post-it note. If anybody was like, handy dandy notebook, you win, alright? Blue's Clues is amazing. And I don't know how many of you guys like either grew up watching it or just you had a younger sibling or kids who watched it. Did you know Blue was a girl? Like, I didn't learn that until high school, and I was like, what? Like, no. Blue was a boy, and he was totally in love with Magenta. Like, they were gonna have gorgeous babies. But no, apparently Blue was a girl. Like, I was so confused when I learned that, because I was like, what? But what? Like, it's not because I have a gender bias about blue being for boys, because blue's my favorite color. Like, I love blue, but I always thought Blue was a boy. Like, I don't know, maybe like every time he said she or girl or something, I just like did not catch it. I have no idea, but I always thought Blue was a boy. That was a weird tangent. Handy dandy notebook. And what was the song? We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from. I loved that show growing up. That was great. My favorite shows that I could watch on TV, not like VHS tapes like Sailor Moon, but the ones I watched on TV were Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Blue's Clues, Xena Warrior Princess, Hercules, what is it, The Adventure? The Journey? Hercules and Xena. I love both of those. Still do. What else did I watch a lot? I don't remember. Do you want to come say hi before I start stitching, Des? Maybe you can get it out now if you come jump up on the desk instead of getting in my way later. Maybe? Come here. Come here. There you go. You like my post-it note? The adjustable craft stand by Loops and Threads. I keep waiting for someone to be like, hey, what's that stand you use? It'll happen. I guarantee it'll happen. Get a kitty mustache. Bonk, headbutt. Headbutt. Alright, so Tessa and I are going to go back to stitching now.
be a drag queen wrestler, maybe? A drag queen sumo wrestler? The head, the big arms, a girly dress with a V-neck, the sumo crotch cover, and the feet. Like, guess you could go so far as to say this is the person's weird hairdo. Oh my gosh, I'm so weird, you guys.
Okay, so I just found out my family is going to be having dinner with friends that we haven't had dinner with since I was in middle school on Saturday. I work on Saturday from 11:45 to 4:45, and the dinner's at 6. So I'm pretty much going to get home and head over there. And I have no idea how long it's going to be. But that means I will only have time to do anything until like 10 a.m. So I may not stitch on that day. I'm not sure. Even if it's a small project, I don't know if it'll be worth it. I don't know. We'll find out on the day what I do, but just in case, don't expect a a cross stitching video on what, Monday? Is that what my schedule is? I think so. Monday the 16th, just in case. Just in case. um, yeah, I think that's what it is. Because it takes me like a day to upload and then it goes, yeah, so Monday. Just a forewarning. So, if you don't see, like day blah 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 or whatever, Flosstube, it's because I have work and then I'm having dinner with a family friend. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the metallic and the variations threads. The metallic I'm using is not the one I'm supposed to. It's E3852. It's just regular metallic thread. And everyone keeps telling me to use the other kinds, and I will, you guys, after I finish these. I know once I start using another kind, if I like it more, I won't want to use these anymore. And I want to finish these off so I didn't waste my money. So, breathe, breathe. I'm not buying new ones for these. It's okay. And I'm going to use only one strand because it always looks weird when you use two strands for metallic. I think the area I'm about to work in is really small. I think it's only right there on the end of one of his tails. There we go. So, ugh, I really hate this stuff, you guys. Oh, you want in, Contessa Pearl? It drives me nuts when that happens. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna do my best to just get these stitches to stitch around the end because this is so annoying. Ugh. Okay. Now. See, this is one of those times when the way I video really sucks. Because, I mean, I could probably do it properly without having to look, but I feel more comfortable making sure I get that end of the thread down. Because, yeah, I'm always paranoid that strands are going to, or the threads or whatever, are going to get yanked out. And I like having extra thread to make sure if it does, I can still thread it and get it back where I need it. So, last one. I will say this current strand is actually not annoying me at all. Like, it's not getting caught, it's not making horrible noises. It's amazing.
Okay. So this is what it looks like when I pull my thread through. It's just as boring as when anyone else does it. No. Okay, I'm going to snip that. There we go. And like I said, I'm paranoid, so I never just do one thing. I tend to curl it around and make like a U. Sometimes I make S's, but that should be good. So, I've officially started the metallic, you guys. Woohoo! There's some metallic over here too. So we'll do that. So this metallic continues on past. I'm just going to go to the pink right there, if you can see. Yeah, sorry, I can't push the webcam any further to the left, so that's why you get bad angles like this. I apologize. Okay, so there is some backstitching with the, it looks like the stems of these roses, and then they kind of swirl a little, and it's in this metallic thread, and it's only one strand, and it goes behind all these leaves. So I think I might actually do it now. If I decide I hate it, I'll take it out, and then you probably won't see this, but otherwise, here we go. back stitching on his chest, and it looks like his back as well, in this gold metallic. I think I'm going to leave that for later. Like, doing this gold now makes sense because the only time it goes over anything is up here on the brown, which I've already done, so that's okay. Otherwise, all this gold goes behind the leaves, which are behind the flowers, which are behind the phoenix, and et cetera, et cetera. But the gold metallic here goes on top, and I'll probably do it the same time I do I think it's black. Yeah, the black around his fur, feathers, whatever. I mean, he's got a beard and a mohawk. Like, I don't know. Feathers, hair, I don't know. So normally when I do stitches, if I'm going left or right, I don't complete them first. I do all of them diagonal. But with the variations threads, I want to keep the changes in colors not like horribly drastic. So I'm going to complete them one at a time. So when the color changes, it doesn't look so friggin' insane. It shouldn't look too bad because they're only in small areas, but whatever. Whatever, it's whatever. not really happy with how this leaf came out because, like, leaves don't change color like that. At least, like, not that quickly. Like, you wouldn't have greenish and then brown and then greenish and then brown again. Like, that's not how it works. But at least mine goes, like, diagonally. Like, it goes out from the stem. Theirs just goes left to right. Like, that is why I didn't do mine the way I normally would. Because theirs looks stupid. I'm sorry. It just, all of them are like that. And they all look completely unnatural. Like, mine will branch out. It'll still look weird, but it won't look as bad.
that is the end of day 5. So, look at that. So, unless I miss some more stitches like I did that single purple one, all that's left are the variations threads and the metallic. Or, well, as far as stitches go. And there's still more back stitching. He's coming along really well. Love it. Like, I really liked the colors, but like that bright pink, and then obviously the variations just make everything pop even more. It's amazing. Love it. I love it. I just dropped that. Oh yeah. So I have work tomorrow. I think it's only like 3 or 4 hours though, so I should be able to get back and stitch. So hopefully before I go to work, I'll get a little bit of stitching in. And then I'll be able to go to work, come back, and get some more stitching in. And by stitching, I do mean Chinese Phoenix and not a smaller project. I think, like, depending on how much time I'm able to get in tomorrow, I could finish this by Tuesday. Could. How much back stitching is there, huh, baby? Ton of back stitching, and that's just in the black and purple. 3857. I don't even know where that is. Oh, it's along the flowers. Okay. So yeah, lots of back stitching, and so I don't know. I might be able to finish by Tuesday. I might not. I am so tired. I don't really know what to talk about. Yeah. He's so beautiful. Last time I checked on the poll, it was Celestial Gathering that was winning. I think it was Celestial Gathering. It was one that was not on the last poll. But I love astronomy. I love it. I'm a Sagittarius, so you know, half man, half horse, bow and arrow and all that. It's awesome. There are cooler ones, I'll admit, but there are ones that are not as awesome. So, yeah. I'd be happy to do that one. I think I actually almost started it like a year or two ago. I'm pretty sure it's already opened, but I didn't actually start it. I just opened it. Was the intention of starting it, then it didn't. And I mean, although, what is it, Queen of the Night? She has the astronomy stuff, or astrology, I guess, in that case. Well, no, because it's the stars. So it's just a matter of whether you think being a Sagittarius means you're creative and being a Leo means you're a leader. Personally, I think astrology is BS. Like, it's interesting. I will admit that. I like reading them. But the majority of the time, they say contradictory things so that, everyone can feel included and that it's correct for everyone in some way. So, and it's just BS. I'm sorry. That's all it is. Astronomy, though. Planets, stars, constellations. I love it. Oh, it's amazing. I blame Sailor Moon for that one, so. But, yeah, I thought it was going to be the, whatever that wizard one is with the dragon. But I think it's in second place. Maybe Mermaid is, actually. Like, I don't know if I can edit a poll, but I should probably take the Stonehenge bookmark off of there and put that in like the small project area, because I could probably do that in like a day, maybe two. It has gotten a vote though, so you know that actually that would be a good reason for me to put it in the small project pile, and then you know I'll get around to it for the like one or two people who voted for it so far. So yeah, actually, maybe when the days come around that I don't want to stitch a big project, or I finish the Phoenix and I don't want to start my next big project yet, I can do the Stonehenge bookmark. So, yeah, maybe. Have any of you guys watched Fairy Tale, or are watching it, or are reading it? Oh, I love Fairy Tale so much. Lucy's my favorite character, although Natsu and Happy are great as well. I have a keychain of Happy right here, but I don't want to pull it off because then I'd have to put it back on. He's a blue cat. And he can fly. He's the cutest thing ever. So yeah, if you guys like Japanese animation or the Japanese comics, totally recommend Fairy Tale. It's not complete, the comics or the TV show, so if you're only interested in things that are completed, you should watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood or read the Full Metal Alchemist comic. Or, you know, the original Full Metal Alchemist anime, but it had Hitler and stuff. It was really fucking weird. Sorry, I just dropped an F-bomb, but, like, it was weird. It was really weird. Wasn't it, Tess? Yes, it was. Okay, I keep yawning. It's 10:30. I need to finish editing this and go to bed. Do you have anything you want to add, Tess? Anything you want to add? She's purring really loud. Huh? Do you want to help me sign off? Do you? Yeah? Okay. Just face this way. Oh, there we go. Okay. Thank you for watching me cross stitch all day. Super fun. I'm great at it. I know. I'm such a fast stitcher. Such a good stitcher. So, why can't you look at the webcam, Tessa? You're such a diva, you can't even look at the camera. Is this your good side? Is that it? You only want to be videoed from your good side? So, subscribe, share, like, comment, and all that jazz. And then Tessa and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Oh! Huh? Is that better? You know, I think in the last video I did this too. I signed off and then I kept holding you for a little while. No, you're done now? Well, that was my boo. Okay, so Tessa walked away and is about to chew on some tape. Bad girl. Crazy cat. Trying to chew on another piece of tape. So disappointed in you, Tessa. Okay, I'm gonna do the thing again, because that's how I should end my videos.